Happy day, everybody. Today we're making banana muffins. This is a very easy recipe. It has to be because I'm not really a baker. I'd love to be, but it just doesn't work out for me a lot when I try. The first thing you need are about 3 very ripe bananas. And as you can see, these are pretty dark. Some you probably wouldn't normally want to just chow down on, but it's exactly what we're looking for today. For the dry stuff, I have a teaspoon of baking powder, a teaspoon of baking soda, almost a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of cinnamon, 3/4 of a cup of sugar, about 1/4 of a cup of craisins. That's optional. You don't have to put those in there if you don't want to, but my wife loves them, so they're going in. A teaspoon of vanilla, 2 eggs that have been beaten, and a 1/2 cup of butter, which is 1 stick that has been melted, and a 1.5 cups of flour. So to start off, we're going to add all the dry ingredients together. Just throw those in. And I'm putting the craisins in here too, in the dry ingredients. Because if you don't put a little bit of flour on them, they'll just fall to the bottom of the muffins, and we kind of want them dispersed throughout. And we're just gonna carefully mix this up a little bit. It's all gonna get mixed later, but it's good to go ahead and try to get everything moved around in here. You could use a whisk for this. If you didn't have the craisins in there, that would make it easier. We just want to just mix this up a little bit. That's good. And then let's get to mashing some bananas. I take the little tips off. You don't have to. If it sticks on there, it's kind of nice to take it off. Just this little jobby there. It's at the very bottom. Boy, these really smell like bananas, which is good, because if they smelled like oranges, that would be bad. And you can use potato masher, but a fork works just fine. Just take a minute to get these all mashed up. They don't have to be pureed. You kind of want them to be a little bit chunky. Boy, that smells really good. You just want to get all the really big chunks mashed, but some of the small ones, it's just fine to have around. Start by adding the vanilla. butter. And mix this up just a little bit. Cool down that butter. We definitely don't want to mix scrambled eggs. Just mix this up. Then when you're working with wet and dry ingredients, you always want to put the dry on top of the wet. And we want to just stir this up just enough to bring it together. It's okay if it's a little lumpy, but you don't want any gluten really to form here. You just want to bring it together. This is an easy recipe. Like I say, even I, who am not a baker at all, made this a few times now, and they come out great. Again, not too much mixing. You just kind of want to get rid of all the white bits from the flour. And that's it. It's as easy as that gets. It's a lot easier, well, it's not easier than buying one of those mixes out there, but this takes maybe 5 minutes to get all your ingredients put together, another 5 to put together, about 20 minutes in the oven, which is preheating to 425, which is where we're going to start for about 5 minutes, and then we're going to knock it down to 350 and let it cook for another 15 or so till it's ready to be done. I have a muffin tin here that I've used these little tin liners. You don't have to use the tin liners. It makes it a lot easier to get the muffins out of the tin. If not, spray it down, grease it up. It'll just make things easier for you in the long run. You want to fill these up pretty close to the top. I wish they made these servers left-handed. Make this a lot easier for me. But that's all right. Ooh, it's gonna be a big one. Just try to get them kind of uniform. You can use a spoon to do this if you don't have a server. You can get these things at your local restaurant supply place or at actually I think this one came from Amazon. And then for our last one, let's not waste any of this goodness. There we go. Like I said, this is going to go in the oven at 425 for about 5 minutes. Then we're going to knock down the oven to 350 and we're going to cook it for about 15, 17 minutes from there. And I'll be back as soon as they're done. All right, these just came out of the oven about 5 minutes ago. Could let them set in the tin for a few minutes just to cool off and continue cooking. Like I said earlier, they started at 425 for about 5 minutes. Starting them at a higher heat helps the baking soda and baking powder react better. Then we turn it down to 350, let them cook for about 15, 17 minutes until they're golden brown delicious. A little springy when they come back to you. Remember you had bigger chunks of banana in there, so as you see some what looks to be uncooked parts, that's probably just banana. Again, you use the tins or the muffin liners, so see how easily they come out? Without these liners, not quite so easy. It's not bad. You can definitely get them out, it's just not as easy. So I got 10 really good ones, one okay one, and one that was, maybe I just didn't put as much batter in there. But as you can see, he's kind of small. We're gonna try this one. Still pretty hot. They smell amazing. The smell of bananas it's definitely in the air. Probably can't see, but these are pretty darn moist inside. It's got a real good flavor. Cinnamon adds a little bit of a warmth to it, which is nice. My grandfather was still alive. He would put a big slab of butter and jelly on top of this too, because he was a sweetaholic. It's a really good muffin. A very easy recipe, as you can just see. Give this one a try at home and share them with your family and friends. Y'all have fun out there and be kind to each other.